go. That's pretty magical, right, boys? Woo! Y'all like this? Hey, that was, shoot. I hope the rest of the show is as good as the beginning. Hey, so, man, this next song is gonna give me it. It's just amazing that I swear to y'all, my songs I just tell the truth. That's what I do. I write songs because they, I figure it's all gonna come out of me somehow, some way or another. So I might as well write a song about it and share it, because you don't want it to come out in a crazy way, that you can't control. So I put it on paper and I sing songs about it. And this next song, you guys, I had no intention. This is crazy, guys. I'll always feel like I'm about to mess this message up, but check it out. I'm like a 3-year-old believer in God, brand new. And I would have said I was a believer as a kid, but as soon as I left the house and got out of school, I was like, never mind, and went the other way, and was pretty, honestly, man, I was pretty certain, that I was okay, not being a believer. And my wife, she was, and honestly, that's all we fought about, because we couldn't fight about money, because we didn't have any, and we both wanted the same number of kids, 1 billion, and so the only thing we fought about was the faith thing and what we were going to teach our kids. So what's crazy about this song I'm about to sing for y'all is I wrote it when I was an atheist. And I wrote it because this guy named Craig, I swear to you guys, and when Craig met my family, I was an alcoholic, I was stocking produce at Costco, I was a songwriter, and I had nothing to show for it. We couldn't afford bagels. I remember telling my kids, you can't get bagels. Those are a luxury item in the grocery store. We had one car. It was a Honda Accord that I basically married into. It was Laney's car. And it had a donut on the back left, a rear tire. And everywhere we drove, if a cop drove up, my kids knew to duck down in the floorboard and hide. So we just weren't, you wouldn't see us and be like, man, can I get some parenting advice from you? Not at all. You'd be like, hide your kids, hide your wife, here comes the Walker Hayes family. So that's what amazed me, is that when I walked into this church called Redeeming Grace, and this guy named Craig shook my hand. I was wasted when we walked in. And he shook my hand. Guys, you'll understand this. He shook my hand a little too long and wouldn't let go. And then he looked me in the eye way too long. Like, his eye contact was strong, And at first, I'm not a believer, he is. I was like, this dude is weird. And then 3 years later, I'm telling you, man, every time I left this guy's house, I would ask Laney. I'd be like, why does Craig and his wife love us so much? Why? What's their deal? Because we weren't used to it at that place in our life where we were. Well, the song is about a car Craig gave me. He showed up at my son's baseball game. I know, let's hear it for cars. Come on. So look, he shows up all Superman and gets out of his minivan, which, guys, it was a piece of crap, but it was still a new ride to us. But he gets out, he's got the keys and the title, and he says, man, all you gotta do is sign, and it's yours. And I'm telling you, I was embarrassed. I was like, man, I'm one of those guys that needs a hand, this dude just give me a car. Like, I must look bad, I must be bad off. And at first, I wasn't gonna accept the car, and then he said, his wife, Laura, said, why don't y'all wrestle for it? And Craig wrestled in high school. He was a good wrestler. And I was like, man, I'm not about to get beat up, for this car in front of my kids. And so I took the car, and as I drove home, I began this song. And you can tell this song is written by a non-believer who is completely confused by the gospel, by the love of Christ coming through a human. It's written by a guy who I saw church and I thought hypocrisy, nothing good from the word church. But here's me going, this dude, he might actually know a guy named Jesus, and that's what this song's about. So, hey, if you believe in non-believer, thanks for listening to just like a little piece of my testimony. It's crazy. This is wild, y'all. I'm at Red Rocks. It's sold out. I wrote this song as a non-believer, and now I'm a full-blown believer. And really, all I care about anybody hearing tonight is just Jesus speaking to them somehow through what we do. So, again, if you're a non-believer, God, I just want to hug your neck and thank you for putting up with that long, awkward speech right there. We had to go to church for a second. Here's Craig. Thanks for listening. Come on. Hey! Come on, Red Rocks. Church called Redeeming Grace. It's like he understood my I don't want to be here face. I didn't bow my head and I smelled like beer, but he just shook my hand, said I'm glad you're here. He says we'll all be judged, but he was never judgmental. And even though my songs ain't don't belong, you know him, he quote me my lyrics, he slapped me on the back. He said, man, you gotta give. How you act like that? Yeah, I know. It sounds cool, right? Not your typical kid from Sunday school, right? Still ain't figured out church yet. But Greg, tonight can't walk on water, turning down the valley red, but he just might be tight with a man. Like the world, right with God says, yeah, he just might be tight with a man. Lose a record deal, y'all the perks pay fast. Dealership said we're gonna need to get that minivan back. So we were down to one car, and broke as I felt. And my wife and 6 kids and only 5 seatbelts. I needed help. The kid admit I was struggling. I said, Craig, it's all good, but he knew what I wasn't. Hey man, I'm praying for you, would've been sufficient, but not. He took roadside assistance to a whole nother level. The sacrificial heights. Showed up at the ballpark after my son's game one night in 2 cars with his wife Laura watching from the other. So what in the world are y'all doing here, brother? He just laughed us out that old Chrysler Talent country man with the keys and the title, the pen in his hand. Said, man, all you gotta do is sign it, Charles. I said, no way, but he wouldn't take time for an answer. He said, please, dude, somebody did this for me once, says let me do this for you. We argued about it for a little while. That's it, Then Craig smiled and said, now you can't walk on water, turning down the valley red, but he just might be tight with a man that did. Like the world, always time with what it says. Yeah, he just might be tight with a man that did. School, right? I still ain't figured out church yet. But Craig, I give it 2. Tonight can't walk on water, turning down the valley red, but he just might be tight with a man. Like the world, always round and round his head. Yeah, he just might be tight with a man. Way too ashamed to be adequately grateful at the moment. But I signed that dotted line and I drove the kids home. And when a cop pulled up beside us at the light, they didn't have to duck. Cause thanks to Craig, said they were all buckled up.